All right. What the hell is up? Wish I had a drum set. Right? All right. My name is Tara Devlin. Thank you for hanging out. This is Tarabuster Tuesdays on the Political Voices Network. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. All right. Nice to see you in the chat room. YouTube.com/C4Channel/Tarabuster. And all right. Keep coming back. It works if you work it. So work it. You're worth it and live it. Thank you, Jim, for being a moderator. Let's just dive right in because that's the way we do it on Tarabuster Tuesdays. If you can, also subscribe to my Substack, be a patron, become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. Tell your friends because this is how we're going to get this country back. Okay? I'm not kidding. We have to flood the zone with decency, dignity, democracy, and humanity. Okay? That's the motto of the show. Thank you, Jim. Jim says, looks good, sounds good. See, I can't do it without you. Thank you, Jim. Really. I appreciate that. You've been by my side all these years. And I don't know what I'd do without you. Thank you, guys. All right. And Charlie from APS Radio knows, another good friend who's been standing by this show, by me. And the reason I do the show is because I do believe that we're in this boat because of propaganda. And I'm not saying, I'm talking about the right-wing propaganda. We have to fight back. We have to not go quietly into that fascist night. And yesterday, okay, so become a Substack subscriber, please. Because, I do a lot of work over there, too. And I did a video yesterday because I'm sure, as everyone, all the normal human beings on the planet, I felt incredibly disgusted by the so-called president's tripe social post about the murder of Rob Reiner before these people who are better people than he will ever be in a million lifetimes. Okay, this is why I'm so sick of maggots. Maggots, shame on you. If you voted for Trump, there's no excuse. You're all in the same lot. You're all disgusting. You're all equally disgusting. And you should all be ashamed. And unless there's like a mea culpa, I don't want to hear it from you because you deserve what you get. But unfortunately, good people are hurt too. So you should be ashamed. But of course, if you had the capacity to feel shame, you wouldn't be a Trumpanzee. You wouldn't even be a casual Trump voter, right? There are some that are like, oh, I voted. So who the hell said this? Someone, I don't know. I knew somebody that said, I just think we needed to shake things up. Go fuck off, okay? I'm sorry. I don't mean to curse in 2 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time. But, you needed to shake things up. Well, go and, I don't know, why don't you go become a member of the Democratic Party. Go show up at your local Democratic Party meeting. You want to shake things up. You don't throw a turd into the middle of a punch bowl when we're trying to have a decent country. You don't throw this goddamn con man at the world. And of course, what's more disgusting is that there's the enablers, because a bird has got to fly and a fish has got to swim, but you don't. And that's Trump, a con man, a grifter is going to grift. A waste of human DNA is going to waste his human DNA. A disgusting, greed-centered ghost of times we thought we left in history's trash bin is going to be what he's going to be. A disgusting nothing who brings nothing to humanity. But you don't have to vote for it. That's something you put you put that away. Anyone who with a pinch, a modicum of decency, and saw that baboon come down an escalator, calling Mexicans rapists, recoiled from him on the first day. Okay, but then we give you, because you recognize that as what it is. It's divisive. It's fascism. We fought wars against people who pulled the same dirty tricks. So we're not as American patriots, we're not going to go down that road. I mean, that's what we could hope we would do, right? But not all of us, because that's one of the things that he's done to this country. He's exposed. I mean, he didn't create the racists. He didn't create the horrible people. He's just exposed how many there are. And honestly, I'm sick of it, because it does suck to be right, literally and figuratively. I've been right all along. I've been saying this for years, that it takes a level of maturity. It takes a level of decency to function in a free democratic society. They don't have this decency, I guess. And they certainly don't have the maturity, because, they're so easily played. And it's like a perfect storm of assault that we've been under by nefarious actors who, really need to be taxed down to size, taxed into reasonableness, so we don't have to deal with their shit. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm here trying to do, screaming into the wind about how we can fix this country. We know what we have to do. We do, but there's many things standing in the way. The greed, the disgusting greed of a few. And I don't know, how much longer are we going to take it? I always have to ask that question. How much longer are we going to take it? Because it really does come down to people like Elon Musk and the enablers that put these, baboons in power who don't give a shit about serving the people. They're not in it for altruism. They're not decent people. That's why, you got to get money out of politics, for one thing, because that in itself is a siren song for sociopaths to come and join the system. Because if we took money out of politics, it would be like roaches turning on the damn light in the kitchen. They'd all scatter. Not that I have roaches. I don't, thank God. But, we know how they behave. And, yeah, okay. So where do we begin? I wrote an article over at the Political Voices Substack yesterday, commenting on Trader Trump's tripe vomit post. And you see, the way I'm talking about Trader Trump, we'll know this country is on the right track when the corporate media, the big millionaire mouthpieces of the establishment are talking like this. And maybe not as salty, but there's no need to normalize what's not normal. There's no need to sane wash him and make as if he knows what the F he's doing, as if there's a method to the madness. There is no method to the madness. He's a Putin bitch, okay? He's probably a compromised agent of a foreign dictator. No doubt he doesn't give a shit about America because he's that sick. He's that much of a sociopath. He doesn't care. It's all about him. This is madness. I mean, he might as well have a brain worm. At this point, I wish I had one. Seriously, right? You just need a rest. And so I wrote an article over at the Political Voices Network, and I'm trying to get this out there. That's why I want all the Democrats need to listen to my show and others like my show, but this show in particular, because we've been ask Jim. He's been with me for years. Okay, before I was on the Political Voices Network, and this is just still the little show that could. And we've been talking about it for years, that what needs, what the problem is, what needs to happen, how in every Republican chest beats the heart of fascism. We've been talking about this for years, before Traitor Trump. So, I don't know. I'm not Miss Cleo, but if you have a little bit of an understanding of politics and humanity and the way people operate and history, and, you could kind of put it all together. You could see the A will lead to B, will lead to C. And I'm sad to say that we're here. I wish I was wrong. It sucks to be right, literally and figuratively. That, Republicans they don't give a shit about this country. And they are the domestic enemies that the founders warned us against. They're destroying the country from the inside. And even, okay, let's say some of them are sincere. They must know. They know what Trump is. They know that he's a compromised agent of a foreign dictator. And yet you still support him. That's how selfish you are. That's how cynical you are. Don't you have you have no sense of patriotism. You have no sense of obligation to everybody who's lying in their cold early grave, who entrusted this thing, this experiment in liberal democracy to us. You have oh God, I can't even, Jesus Christ. Freud would have to hang up. It would have to hang it up, really. Look at Mike Johnson. Look at them all. They have no decency. I can't even imagine it. But there it is. Right in front of our faces. Mike Johnson said something like, oh, you want to know what I believe or what my ideology is or what my motivation is? I can't exactly remember. Maybe somebody on the chat can remind me. And he said, look at the Bible. Take the Bible off the shelf, and that's my beliefs. That's what motivates me. Really? Really, you monster? How dare you all? That just says to me, get this Bible out of here. Get this Bible. Clearly, the founders had the right idea. Making this wall of separation between church and state. Well, Maggot Mike Johnson he's a real kook. Very, very sick person. If you just Google him, and before he was in the halls of power. This guy's third from the presidency. And he's a real sick, he's, most likely, in my professional opinion, a closet case. But if only they would get the help they need, these monsters, and stop inflicting it on the world. They're all fucked up, guys. They're all sick. They're damaged people. Not that it's not that liberals aren't damaged and we don't have issues or whatever, but we work on it. We try to make the world a better place. We're not cowards. We don't inflict our manias outwards. We get help. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ. We turn our pain into progress. Try to make lemonade out of those lemons and try to use our experience to help others. Right? Not them. These monsters, they just sick their sickness on us. But so you saw Trader Trump's disgusting vomit tripe on his tripe social, saying that, and I'm of the belief when he said that, Rob Reiner, a tortured and struggling but once very talented movie actor. Wait, hold on a second. Has passed away together with his wife Michelle, reportedly due to the anger he calls caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS, and he was known to have driven people crazy. How fucking dare... Okay, so and this is what I wrote about, so please subscribe to my Substack. when I saw that, I thought, what a piece of shit. Pardon my language. But then I thought, wait a minute, that's unfair to shit. Because shit has a purpose. You have to shit. It's part of life. Also, you could use it for fertilizer. It's part of the whole, it actually contributes to growth and progress. But what about Trump? What's the purpose of Trump? There is none. There's no purpose to this. And now it gets to the point where it's about us, not him. How much longer are we going to take it? Because the longer we allow this to squat in the Oval Office, to destroy the Oval Office, make it look like Saddam's palace met the Kremlin and lost the bet at the Kohl's bargain bin, right? That's what it looks like. It's just an embarrassment. Putting all these gold appliques all over the wall, just like in the Kremlin. It's an embarrassment. And the way that the fact that he's doing that means, it just speaks to the fact that he doesn't get America. He doesn't understand America. He hates America. America of decency, of dignity, of service. These are concepts that are well over his head. And I don't want to completely repeat what I wrote in my article, so please subscribe and read it and watch the video there. But what we have to do is reclaim Trump derangement syndrome. Okay, Trump derangement syndrome is real. Yeah, 100% real, and it's making this country sick. But it's just, with everything else the maggots are all about, they have it exactly backwards. You see, Trump derangement syndrome is looking at that tax cheating, draft dodging, convicted felon, wannabe dictator, con man who's all over the Epstein files and saying, yeah, that's the man for me. That's a president. That's somebody who needs power. And in fact, more power. He didn't have enough power last time when he lost the election and sent the mob to defecate and urinate in the halls of the Capitol. Let's do this again. Let's take this ride again. That's Trump derangement syndrome, is looking at somebody who bankrupted every business he touched, who never brought anything to the table, never had anything to contribute to humanity. All of his businesses are bullshit too. They're all scams, multi-level marketing, vitamin scams, stupid games, that everything that other people did better. Casinos, bankrupting casinos, tickling the addiction of others, never adding, never contributing. It's all about separating dupes from their money. That's what a casino is. The house always wins. Not that I don't enjoy sitting around playing craps or blackjack now and then, but I know I'm not going to get rich in there. But Trader Trump, that's easy money for him. But he couldn't keep that afloat either, because he sucks at business. And the art of this deal, or whatever the hell that he didn't write, the people who wrote that book, and there's many articles about him and exposés, that he's not a businessman. I mean, his Trump organization was just this fly-by-night ramshackle bunch of dirty, beaten down offices in Trump Tower. It was, and that whole boardroom and everything was a Mark Burnett creation. That's a set he created and put it up around the wannabe dictator baboon. And so, and he said, oh, you're fired. And all of a sudden he's a successful businessman. That's Trump derangement syndrome. Looking at a lifelong serial bankrupt con man who destroyed everything he touched, who bankrupted his trust fund 6 times, who declared more losses on his taxes that we know of, the tax returns that we have, he declared more losses than every other single American taxpayer, making him the biggest loser, over nearly $1 billion in losses. And looking at that and saying, yeah, I'm voting for that because he's a successful businessman. I saw it on reality TV. These people are dumb. And as I always say, suckers are born every minute. Trumpanzees are living proof. But that's Trump derangement syndrome. So don't give me your bullshit. Oh, you got TDS. Because I hear it from the maggots too. Because, doing my show and whatnot, I get contacted by them sometimes. They never have anything intelligent to say, as we know. If ever that happened, I think I might faint if they brought something to the table. They're always like, they'll call me a name or that's about it. They'll say Trump 2028. It used to be Trump 2025 or 4, right? They'll say MAGA. I mean, it's like, woo, do they all have brain worms? You got to think. I wonder. So, they don't have any real excuse for voting for this because at this point, what's the excuse? There are no rational reasons at this point to vote Republican. Right? There's none. Explain it to me. There's no fact-based, rational reason to vote Republican. This is a death cult that needs to be sent to history's trash bin. So, if there is one, let me know. I guess if you're a Nazi, if you're a rapist, if you're if you're a white supremacist, it really is if you're a racist, and that's the bottom line. I don't want to hear about the corporate media loves to check in on the Trumpanzees all the time. Oh, how you feeling? How's your vote? Do you regret your vote? Are you happy with your vote? Like, we always got to check in with these monsters. How come no one checks in on us? No one checks in on the normal people. How you doing, normal people? Right? Even during Biden's presidency. How you doing? How you doing? We always had to check in on the Trumpanzees then, too. We don't need to check in on them. We've checked in on them. They're racist. They're still as racist as stupid as they are. Well, it all goes hand in hand. Racism and stupidity goes hand in hand. But, they're Fox News victims. They're watching Russian-funded influencers who I don't think they're not paying Tim Pool and Benny Johnson hundreds of thousands of dollars, well, millions a year it ends up being, to spread pro-Trump lies because they love America. They're so irritating, these Trumpanzees, because you would think that for people, they love all the conspiracies. They see the conspiracies everywhere, but not the ones right in front of their filthy faces. It's so true. So, Trump derangement syndrome is real, but let's get it straight. It's like everything I say all the time. Gotta frame the narrative here. Don't let these maggots define it. We have to claim it, reclaim it, take it back. Trump derangement syndrome is looking at that thing and being okay with it. And I want to go through some of these comments on the Tripe Social post because a lot of times I'll go into the conservative Reddit page or I'll look at something on Tripe Social to see how the maggots are reacting to things. And they're not happy with their dear leader, but they're also, it's not across the board, of course, because they're making excuses for him. Lots of maggots are mining Rob Reiner's social media accounts to find mean things that he said about Trump or the maggots and saying, see, as if it's both sides, and It's he deserves this. That this is okay. That a president of the United States should behave like this, because that's normal to them. And I mean, it's not normal, but these are people that are literally protecting pedophiles at this point. So there is no bottom to the maggot sewer. It's you just keep tumbling lower and lower. So yeah, sir, Mr. President, right here at the top, I love you. I love you. I support you 100%. Really? What do you support? The mass firings, the worst jobs record now since the last time he was in office? What do you support? The veterans losing their jobs, the illegal wars, the extrajudicial killings. You like the masked Nazis on the street kidnapping people. I support you 100%. You hate people. I mean, that's it. We gotta go there, guys, because this is, not okay. You support if you support a monster, you're a monster. Get it? You support a pedo, a monster, a narcissist, a psychopath. You are one. Someone who grabs the hand of the Saudi dictator. I don't care where that hand has been. I'll grab that hand. I'll touch that hand. The bloody hand. Because these people hate America, you see. The only profession enshrined in the Constitution as being necessary for a functioning America is journalists, our journalists, reporters, the media, the press. But maggots are cool with Trader Trump. I'll grab that hand. I'll kiss that hand. He's cool with it. Palling around with dictators. Getting $1 billion. He's $1 billion richer. This 80-year-old psychopath. How about you? How's your Biden eggs? I miss my Biden eggs, That's all we heard from the maggots. Oh, my eggs, the eggs. Whining bitches. I'm so sick of them. That's how you got to treat them. Because clearly, they're all like, daddy's home, daddy's home. He's pissed. He wants to spank you. Daddy, daddy, daddy. Well, we got to be daddy to them. And give them a little case of red ass. And that means reality. Legally and peacefully. Give them a case of reality. Well, bitch, you got what you voted for. You're disgusting like he is. You're a pedo. You have no bottom like he does. And when we swoop in once again, because this is what will happen, and save them from themselves, this time the Democrats, please listen to me and don't be so quiet about it. Don't be so nice about it. Don't be so bipartisan about it. I'm sick of that too. There's no bipartisan with this shit. We just saw Mike Johnson and the rest of these monsters didn't take a vote on the Obamacare subsidies. So millions of Americans are going to lose their health insurance. They don't care. It went up. 55,000 Americans are going to needlessly die. It used to be 35 to 45,000. They don't care. They wouldn't. They don't lose a minute of sleep worrying about who's needlessly dying. Everything is they're just monsters. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't relate. I'm not a monster. I care about other people. I believe in the promises of America. That's why I'm doing this show. I want this country to live up to its founding ideals. I'm not a maggot. I'm not afraid of diversity. I'm not so small, I understand what the greatness of America really is, and that is our melting pot status, right? That we attract people from all over the world. Not anymore. Though, not anymore. Thanks to the maggots. Everything good about this country, they destroy. It's true. I mean, I wish I was wrong. Everything good about this country, everything that actually makes this country great, they're upset about. You know, but then let it fall in their laps. Let them feel the sting of the lash of their policies. And oh boy, we'll have a couple of stories about that coming up. So yeah, I love you. I do not support this post. Highly inappropriate. And this is what gets me. It puts us in their box. You see, this is where I remind everybody that propaganda works. What's their box? Show me. I will give any maggot $1,000 in this holiday season, in this shitty Trump economy. Any maggot that can show me where a Democrat, a normal person, a Democratic leader said anything on par with anything that monstrosity said, puts us in their box. What box? Not a single Democrat. They say when Charlie Kirk died, nobody cheered that. When Charlie Kirk. Oh, they could find maybe rando Russian bot Twitter account 52973 that said something screwed up. Oh, but then there are incidences. There was a kindergarten teacher that lost her job because she posted the actual words that Charlie Kirk said that came out of his mouth, and she posted them verbatim, and she lost her job for doing that because, I guess you can't tell the truth about maggots. See, maggots get upset. Because all they could do is lie about us. We tell the truth about them, and they lie about us. So that's all they have. And it puts us in their box. And you'll see there's a lot of that. How, this makes us like them. See, look at this. Everyone needs to calm down. How would you feel and react if a person relentlessly spewed lies and hate towards you to the point where there are 2 assassination attempts by lunatics in your life? May God protect and bless traitor Trump. What lies? And that's the other thing. When I ask maggots all the time, what lies about traitor Trump? And the assassination attempts were from registered Republicans. Okay? This is cognitive dissonance meets the Dunning-Kruger effect in Maggotville. So, Mr. President, with respect, this isn't how a Christian should speak about anyone, living or dead. He's not a Christian, honey. See, this is the other thing. I'm so tired of these fake-ass Christians, these fake-ass patriots. Patriots. I can't even talk now. Patriots. And I'm sick of it. I'm just sick of them. They're not Christian. And that's the fact that that they can claim to be Christian is ridiculous. And thank God that, John Fugelsang wrote that book, The Separation of Church and Hate. They say they're Christian because, what about the babies? The baby. This is what I get from maggots all the time. Well, baby killer, you're a baby killer. No, the fact is that the abortion, just have to get it out there, the abortion rate goes down under Democratic policies. And in fact, abortion is up in the country since the maggots destroyed Roe. So if you really don't like abortion, vote Democratic. To call Republicans pro-life is, it should really be accompanied by a laugh track. Because they're not pro-life. Yes, the left celebrated Charlie Kirk's death. Show me. We mourn Rob Reiner and his wife's death. Do you? Not according to your dear leader. Wow. So, yeah. It's just on the corporate media, they're reporting how the maggots are distancing themselves. They will never distance themselves from the monstrosity because they are him. You know, they're all in on him. You know, a lot of them have lost friends. They have their entire identity is wrapped up in being a maggot. So it's going to be hard to wrest them from the delusion, from the Trump derangement syndrome. Seriously. And tell me if I'm wrong. You know, I'm not wrong. Really. And yes, thank you, Stacy, on the chat. I love listening to Tara talk. I wish she was on more often. Me too. Tell your friends. Okay. And okay, hold on. Where is the other? Yeah, and all right. Where we? I got a few other stories. This show is very short on Tuesdays, so I gotta really tighten it up here. Where do I go? Okay, here, let's go here. And this is what I'm talking about. You want to, I mean, everything that the Republicans run on and claim to be. They claim to be Christians. They claim to be patriots. They claim to love the troops. They love and support the troops, right? Support the military. No, they don't love the troops. They don't love the military. They don't support the police, right? They support the police state. They don't support the police. As we saw on January 6th, the police who stood up to the maggots, the fascist insurrectionist traitors, these maggots, Mike Johnson, they still haven't put the plaque up that honors these patriots that stopped the mob from murdering people like Mike Johnson. And yeah, I mean, they don't. That just says it all. They don't support the troops. He pardoned all the insurrectionists that beat cops. It's unbelievable. But defecated and urinated in the halls of the Capitol. So, just like, and so everything that they run on is bullshit. Okay, they're not pro-family. They're not pro-whatever, Christian. Everything that really, think about it. Somebody said, oh, you're supposed to be pro-family, and because I was looking at one of these conservative Reddit pages. They're not, what's pro-family? All they are is pro-hate. That's all they got for you. They don't have any policies. Their policies are who can go to what bathroom. That's not pro-family. That's pro-hate. The more hate, more pro-hate, more division, more distraction. So you want to talk about supporting the troops. Republicans, they are actively, just like what happened with DOGE, when they got into office, he let this sociopath immigrant, the only immigrant that's taken jobs in the country, man-child Musk, he was an illegal immigrant himself. And can't wait. I hope to live to see him sitting in the dock at The Hague and stripped of his ill-gotten gains. All of this has to happen when we get power back. If we're going to have a functioning democracy, we have to fix this thing. Legally and peacefully, but fix it. So another traitor Trump can never rise again. But okay, so Trump and the Republicans, they support the troops so much. They're gutting the VA. They already gutted the VA, but now they're gutting it even more. Mass layoffs, contract cancellations, rolling back the PACT Act, and which was the expansion of care for toxic exposed veterans. What do they care? It's not them. It's not them. So to say that they support the troops is another thing that is demonstrably contradicted by a long record of policies and votes against veterans care. Veterans, how about the government shutdown? The brinksmanship in the government shutdown that affects veterans, benefit cuts. It's a disgrace when you think during the government shutdown that these monsters, Pete Hegseth's Department of Defense, it's not the Department of War. That's the other thing, corporate media. Just because he calls it that doesn't mean it's the Department of War. That has to be passed by Congress. This is what is so maddening about this time. Because we have a corporate media that's completely complicit in this madness, in enabling the monster. No, it's not the Department of War. The other thing is, when he writes these executive orders firing people, it should have been just immediately filed into the circular filing cabinet we all keep by our desks. Because he doesn't have the constitutional right to fire anybody. He doesn't have control of the purse strings. So you don't act like it's real. You might as well just say everybody gets a pony. Write an executive order. Everyone has rainbows coming out of their ass. Signed DJT. So why all of a sudden you would get a breaking news alert on the corporate media and they'd be like, traitor Trump. Well, they would say, President Trump just fired, blah, blah, blah. Well, and the tariffs, too. Jesus. Well, that's because maggot Mike Johnson gave him, he's abdicated the constitutional role in this supposed emergency. Everything's an emergency in a fascist coup. So, yeah. And now, of course, we're going to go to war with Venezuela because of oil, and that wasn't in the cards either, was it, maggots? I hope you're all going to sign up. So, okay. The support the troops bullshit. So what's happening is they've already fired hundreds of thousands of veterans across the board, in these federal jobs, in good government jobs. And that's a shining city on a hill, right? And this is what we have to tell our maggot friends and family, that a shining city on a hill, the greatest country on earth, should have a functioning government where you call the Social Security Administration and they pick up on the first ring. Hello, can I help you? And then they resolve your issue or whatever it might be. The IRS or whatever. Any government agency should be staffed to the brim with workers earning living wages, decent benefits, and retirement security. That's how we display our love for America. We have a functioning bureaucracy that works because people need it. And it should be there like a well-oiled machine. And people should want to work for the government. You pay in you got a good, steady job where you're respected and you're serving your fellow citizens. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why Republicans, when they say they hate government, they hate democracy. That's what they're talking about. But it used to be that the getting a job in the government that's a good thing. Yeah, that's what you would do. You served your country and you get a job in the government. It's a good, steady job, working for the VA, working for the IRS, working for the Social Security Administration, whatever it might be, working for the post office. But now that's, this monster Elon Musk and the rest of the monsters, they hate government, but they hate democracy. Okay, this is what Democrats, listen to me. You got to change the message to where when the people hear Republicans go, government sucks, small government, we want small government, that they automatically hear small democracy, hate democracy. That's what they're saying, because they like government just fine. What they really don't like is democracy. They don't like people having a seat at the table. They don't like e pluribus unum. They don't like having to think about others. They want the system the founders fought a revolution to overthrow. Come on, Democrats. Work with me here. But, okay, so the VA is planning to fire, and this is Trump, not the VA, 80 to 83,000 employees. And they're making major cuts in veterans' services. 20,000 of those jobs are held by veterans themselves. These are, of course, because of the Department of Government, well, what it is the Department of Gazillionaire extortion, the large-scale layoffs that we've already endured. This is more. And they're doing it to the, not just, let's see, where is it? Not just in the Department of Veterans Affairs, they're firing nurses and doctors. So what I mean, they just see, this is what Republicans do. They say, and I've heard this before from, I've been contacted by Republicans. They're like, I did a video on the VA, how the VA medical services, how veterans, once you're in the system, they have a high rating. So the VA services get a higher rating than any private insurance or private run health system in the country. But Republicans have been trying to destroy the VA because it is a socialized health care system. And they do it, of course, by defunding it. And then they run their propaganda, how it sucks and nobody can get anything done. And then if anything does happen, they highlight that story of whatever it might be. There's a corruption that happens, or somebody steals, or, so they make it seem like it's endemic. The whole system's broken. We got to destroy the whole thing. And it's just not the truth. So, and somebody contacted me and they were like, "Oh, you're just an elite who says because you had a good experience with the VA." And I'm not in the VA. I served my country in uniform, but I was in the National Guard. So I don't have VA benefits for my medical, and so. Anyway, that's besides the point. But when I was in the service and I needed to go to the doctor, it was pretty damn good. And they were like, "Oh, you're just, because you had a good experience doesn't mean everybody has one." And I never said that. No, I never said that. But what I'm saying is that people like going to the doctor and not having to pay exorbitant bills, and not having, you would go, you show your card, you get your medicine, whatever it might be, and you call it a day. There's no co-payment, co-insurance, deductible, in-network, out-of-network. It's none of this bullshit that makes the rich richer. The primary concern is your health, not some fucking executive's salary. Anyway, so whatever. I don't mean to go down this road. That's besides the point. The point is that the Trump administration is cutting nurses and doctors from veterans services, and they're making everything worse. And this is what they have done to this country. And I have to ask, if I know there's our chat is populated by normal people primarily. We get some maggots coming and going now and then, and Jim's on the case in case they act up. But what is I gotta ask, is there anything that this maladministration has done that's actually helped people at all? I mean, are there any examples of Trump putting his filthy, disgusting, greed-centered clutches on our system, and it working. Because everywhere I look, every story I read, from the Department of Gazillionaire Extortion or anything, everything he's done since he's gotten back in power, he's made everything worse. Right? So, yes, and the VA is, as far as the, yeah, Brandon on the chat is saying, not under the VA system because the National Guard is not considered the military, so Obama made the Choice Act so she could be covered. And I was in the military before Obama, but it is a point system. I don't have enough points. Maybe if I went and begged. I don't know. I'd have to go show up. I probably could if I really pressed it, but so yeah, you have to, and that's the thing. In order to qualify for benefits as a National Guardsman, you have to be activated for, at least it was when I was in, for 90 days straight, and then you qualify for benefits. But I was never activated for 90 days straight. And if you read stories with what Trader Trump is doing now with the National Guard, he's limiting their active duty service to 89 days. He did it the last time, too. So they wouldn't qualify for benefits. Do you tell me you support the troops and you do things like that? Because what skin off your balls is it to give these people some sense of security for service? We should all have health care, and I hope that this period in time wakes people up. Then one of the things that I'm not hearing from Democrats, unfortunately, right now, as the Republicans are making everyone's health premiums go up exponentially and millions are losing health care, I'm not hearing any Democrats, unless I'm missing it, maybe somebody can point it out, but are they pushing for universal health care at this point? Because now's the time to do it. This is the time to remind people that we wouldn't be in this. We wouldn't be under assault like this if not for the fact that we have a for-profit health insurance system. And it's a haphazard mishmash of bullshit that sucks, and it all sucks. That's why we pay more, get less, leave millions out, and rank dead last on all positive measures. And how much longer will we accept that? Right? How much you gotta hate yourself to accept dead last, paying more for dead last, and leaving millions out? Jesus Christ. And everyone is just sort of like, oh, thank God it's not me. We shouldn't have to live like this. But okay, what do we expect? Trader Trump is destroying everything he touches, of course, and he's going to build himself a triumphal arch. Go pound sand, you disgusting waste of life. And everything he builds, mark my words, we will tear down. Okay? I mean, I'm not talking about if he built anything good. I'm talking about his Arc de Triomphe. His ballroom. We're going to turn that into the Barack Hussein Obama Multicultural DEI Library study group for trans. For trans drag queen story hour. Right? Every week we'll have drag queen story hour in the Barack Hussein Obama Multicultural DEI Woke Library for all. I think that's a good idea. So, yeah, what else? Where is damn time. Time is ticking down. The only thing I could say is that is one more. That's one more. See, it's ticking down for us, but it's also ticking down for Trader Trump, okay? Every hour is a little bit closer to that, the most anticipated obituary in world history. And hey, legally and peacefully. I just hope I'm there to see it. So yeah, they're legally and peacefully. These there's that liberal tolerance again. Those liberals, they're so intolerant. No, it's like I am a big animal lover, and I hate killing anything. I hate killing anything, but I will, if it's not that I'm gonna kill anything, but yeah, I'm not saying kill. I guess I should keep my mouth shut. Don't kill. Please don't kill. I don't kill anything. I actually have a humane bug catcher. If I can, I will save bugs if I can in my house. Not that I don't have an exterminator come. They do it. They come and they spray every month. That's why I don't, I live in a decent, nice place. In Queens. In New York. But I better shut my mouth now. But I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying. We all know what I'm talking about. It's in fact, when I was reading the what he wrote about Rob Reiner, and in the comments they're like, liberals are so bad, they're so mean, they're all talking about Trump's obituary, and I don't know, is that mean? It's like, I'm sure cancer wants to live too, but you go and you take care of that so the body can live, right? I don't know. I better stop. But I mean, really, no, legally and peacefully. We are the ones who are trying to make this world work for more than just the people at the top. Yes, as John Fugelsang said, the only reason I won't pee on Trump's grave is he might like it. He is, it will be the most, what did I hear? It was the largest outdoor unisex bathroom. Yes, that's what's going to happen. We know it. All right. So, okay, yeah, I'm only hesitating to continue my talking thing here, only because it's like 3 goddamn minutes to the show ends, and I can't believe it. But because I gotta tighten it up better here. That's what she said, I know. But one of the other things I wanted to talk about was all of the maggots who are now complaining about they're losing their jobs. And for example, this pro-Trump meatpacking town in Nebraska is losing about 1/3 of its jobs after Tyson announced it'll shut down its massive beef plant. So that's what you voted for. And it's tied to Trump's economy because his economic policies. We're talking about these ridiculous tariffs and his trade moves, which might as well be a baby throwing his own poop at the wall, and the Republicans going, yeah, let's go with that one. This is what's driven up the costs and squeezed what's already thin margins in the meatpacking industry, apparently, which I don't eat animals, so what are you going to do? But this is what is happening all over the Trader Trump's America, and all the ones. Trump's economy wipes out thousands of jobs in another deep red town that voted 74% for him. That's Lexington, Nebraska. Couldn't have happened to a better town, a nicer town of Trumpansies. Because they were voting, they were hoping that it would only hurt others. They were hoping to hurt others. Oh well, maybe it'll wake them up. That's all I can say. Guys, thank you for hanging out. This is Tarabuster Tuesdays, Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We will be back. Check out my channel, youtube.com/c4channel/Tarabuster. That's where we will record on Fridays. And what else? And Political Voices Network, Substack. And yeah, all that. We will win. We will win. It's just going to take a lot of time because we have a lot of work to do. And a lot of the things, I'm not hearing things like, let's get money out of politics and everything else. But yes, I will see you on Friday. In the meantime, please subscribe to my Substack so you could see me in between. Okay, let me see. I'm just going to put that. It's in the chat. In the links and all that. All right, my friends. Thank you for hanging out. Tell your friends. The show will pick up after the New Year, I believe, because we're going to get guests. It's kind of slowed down. We had our hiccup on the first day with JoJo from Jers. She couldn't hook up. She had problems with the audio. We'll get her back. We'll get others. And so, yeah. It'll be good. I'm just kind of, it's the holidays, so after the new year, we'll hopefully be really cooking with gas. But in the meantime, we are here, and I will be here next Tuesday, and I'll be here Friday, Tuesday, on Substack, every day. So come on, guys, support the show, and I appreciate it. I appreciate your help. Thank you, Charlie from APS Radio News, because Charlie's been a great friend by my side for years now, keeping the show going and growing, donating to the show, donating to the community cats that I help. And, oh, yeah, that's the other thing. Okay, I got to go. But I really wish, if anybody knows of, I have a problem. That's putting it mildly. The problem I have is, one of the community cats I take care of is old. And I don't know. He's making me... I wish I could find him a retirement home. Really. If anyone knows of any kind soul in the New York tri-state area would consider housing a community cat that's been on the street for over 10 years. I'll pay for his vet bills. And I'm sure his teeth are a wreck. But I just saw him again today, and this poor thing. I just think about, I wish I could get him a nice, soft, warm bed for his retirement. All right, I'm choking up, so I gotta go. Look around, ask around. I know I'm in the community too. A lot of people will say, "Well, don't take him off the street. He'll hate that." But if he's old though, it's got to be. It's got to be rough. All right, guys. You can contact me on Discord. I have a Discord page. And all that stuff's in the description. So follow me on Substack. You can also contact me there. All right, guys. I got to go before I start crying. I will see you on Substack. And I will see you on Friday. See you soon. Stay safe. Stay awesome. Oh, what? That's the wrong... My God, that's the wrong graphic for sure. Here we go.